12 points, so it's not a big score difference, is it, even though Vermont is playing well? Doncaster well in there.
Let's cross the boundary side, Stan, who you've got Bernie Deneen with you.
Yep, I'm here with Bernie Deneen, mid-coach for Vermont Football Club and EFL legend. Bernie, how did you see that first quarter? You guys did well in the first half of the quarter through the midfield, and then they sort of started to shut you down a little bit, cut off that space.
Yeah, look, we had the ascendancy early, getting first hands on it, and I think we were leading 5-1 at one point at the clearances. They wrestled it back to their credit, and they set up a bit better defensively. So it started to go our way, just need to be a bit cleaner going forward. But yeah, it's certainly still game on at quarter time.
Yeah, and what was the message at quarter time?
Look, Singer just spoke about our guys being cleaner. You know, they were, as I said, we're getting first hands on it, so we just need to get a little bit more value as we start to try and move the ball forward. And he just wasn't happy about us letting their guys have free rein. And obviously, he said something impressive because we just kicked the first one.
Yeah, there we go. Perfect. Thanks. Back to you, boys.
Thanks to Max Steenkamp there with Bernie Deneen, the midfield coach, and the midfield did well, got it out of the centre, and it finished up in the hands of Lachlan Johns at centre half forward, and he drilled it, low kick from about 50, went straight through the middle, and it's a quick score. One centre clearance, one goal for Vermont, and they stretch out to a 3-goal lead.
The one thing you do not want to do is let Lockie Johns get the ball within 50-55 metres, because he's one of the best kicks in the competition, and he will hurt you.
Minchin wins the tap again. He taps it forward, but Doncaster have got Anarchis running with the bounce of the ball. Uses Fogarty now off centre half back. The dribbling kick goes towards Tout. Tout is under a heap of pressure. He has to bend over to pick it, and he lets it go. And Tahana does well to get the ball off him. And the ball eventually, though, gets bundled as the pack chase down that contest. Let's go boundary side with Alana.
Taking any further part in this match with that broken nose.
Yeah, that's a disappointing development. So the second ruck is out of the contest for Vermont. And from that stoppage, it's Mann who kicks it inside 50. Vermont holding up nicely, an Aaron hand pass. That's how it comes in. And at ground level, the pack drives on the ball, but the umpire sees the ball come out from under hands and feet, and he's going to allow it to play on a bit. It's still spilling around without going anywhere. The whistle won't be blown because it's Cooper who hands it off, but he hands it back to the opposition. And Snyder
on good umpiring.
It was very good umpiring, wasn't it?
He kicks it, and it's a tight one with the boundary line. It just bounces inside, and the players see it over. It's half back for Vermont.
That ball did not move. It was moving the whole time, and so they didn't stop it. I thought it was very, very good umpiring.
To bring the ball back in. Mackenzie versus Minchin. Front spot there for Mackenzie. Going after it. Wadley couldn't quite trap the football over the top of him. Fogarty, umpire, will come in and bounce it.
Big job for young Nick Minchin, but he's also got a bit of support with Castledine down forward and Perry down back, just to give him a chop out.
Minchin that time was looking for Schneider. Narcus sees it over the boundary line and out right in front of the faithful, the Vermont Purple Haze. They come out in numbers week after week, year after year. Which makes them the powerhouse that they are in Division 1 football. Pye throws it in. Mackenzie had the front spot. Goes forward now for Doncaster across the half-forward line here, right in front of the broadcast position. Can they keep the ball alive? No, they cannot, and the umpire will come in and throw the ball in 50 metres out from the Doncaster goal line, currently trailing this game by 3 straight kicks. Umpire throws it in. Mackenzie front spot, that was okay, nicely done. Cooper got the handball away, and Narcus steps around that body, doesn't have enough curl, and Narcus, no it doesn't, I'll tell you what, it just needed another metre and it would have curled its way back through. Hits the pine 3/4 of the way up. 17 points is the margin. 38 plays 21.
That's where he's dangerous, and Arcus, his ability to just create something out of nothing.
It's crossed down boundary side, Alana Coleman.
Yeah, Coach Andrew Tranquilli at quarter time was pretty happy with the boys, even though they were trailing, and they were just talking about getting that ball quickly out of those clearances and kicking it forward, which we've seen a few times already. So the message is out there, and hopefully it can be effective.
So the Vermont work it out nicely. About 4 passes before they go to the wing. Markin playing on quickly. How do Vermont go from the outer wing? It was Crocker who quickly plays on, but his kick has been chopped off, and it's marked by Sika Vellis in defence. Now they'll go through the opposite side, the broadcast side, sharing it around, and Cooper, a long way away from his goals, gets it onto the runner, and now they're sharing it around on the wing. Can tout engineer something. Gets it to Schimmelbusch. Now they've got Turner running at half forward, spearing the pass in. That's brilliant, nice. Doncaster. They went from half back, shared it, and got it to Coleman by the end to have a shot from 40.
Yeah, probably Doncaster's best piece of play this afternoon. They caught Vermont on the switch and were able to beautifully work their way with foot and hand and foot skills into their forward line, and Coleman kicking from just outside 45.
Coleman from the left flank puts it towards the left big post, but he puts it inside for his benefit. Another goal to Doncaster, 4-3-27. It's only an 11-point game as Vermont are 6-2-38.
They're just not going away, Doncaster, at the moment, and you're right then about the way that they moved the ball up then, Brash. It was fantastic, and their hands were better then because they actually moved the ball forward. They didn't just go around in circles, and they handballed it to people moving. So, it shows that when you move the ball quickly, you can actually get somewhere on this ground.
And great poise by Josh Turner just to steady himself and spear the pass in across the half-forward line. I was very impressed with that. Umpire bounces the football once again. McComb was on the bottom of that pack.
The 45-degree passes inside 50, they're hard to chop off, aren't they?
Oh, without a doubt, especially if you create that space. It's very difficult for a defender.
Fogarty quickly wrapped up by Adam Parker. Still in the true middle of the ground out here at Vermont Recreation Reserve, down Tarara Road. Get down here if you can today. The sunshine is out and it's Division 1 football at its best. Doncaster through Fogarty go forward once again. It's a high up and under kick. Nicely knocked away that time by Fisher towards the boundary line. Chasing after it, Sammy Wadley, and the paint beats all players, and we'll have a boundary throw in. Forward pocket, right forward pocket now for the Doncaster side.
It's really a game that if you don't structure up the right way, you really get hurt in these situations too.
Big knock by Coleman over the back that time. Perry got the handball out wide. That was okay. Carey just squeezed a kick. He looking for his teammate there in Howard, who got the handball back to Carey on the right boot out towards the wing position. It keeps inside, but it hit no target. But they'll take the 30 metres, Vermont, and it moves out towards the half back line wing position now. Cross down boundary side. Here's Max.
Yeah, Marcus Alessi's back on for Doncaster 2 boys. He's playing up forward.
Great to see that happening. In the middle of the ground, they might go again here. See Cabellas, the Sharks ducked out of it. Handball backwards, linking up okay. Now they're going out wide. They're McGarnas. Little handball backwards. They're this way, they're that way, but they're going to use the far side now. Here's the Sharks, nicely timely punch there by Crocker over the back, but Doncaster do have the numbers. Kick up towards the wing position, but nicely chopped off there by Adam Parker, who we know reads the play extremely well. Gets it across to McComb. Just on the edge of the centre square. They're 2 kicks from home now. The Eagles up towards the half-forward line. McComb's kick wasn't crash hot at all. It might just stay in, but it doesn't. And we'll have a boundary throw in 45 metres out from the Vermont goal line.
That was a disappointing way to go then. I don't think that was the option. I think they wanted to go across ground and open the game up then.
Bucks go out at half-back for Doncaster. They get hold of the ball. They're going to go through the corridor if they can. And Arcus is on the end of a hand pass. He just punts the ball as long as he can to set up forward. Late fly. Monk's over the top, but he can't come down with it. So it's a turnover, and Vermont hold the ball on the outer side. They'll drive it inside 50, looking for Best. On his hammer is Malloy. Goes the punch and gets it to the boundary line. So a great spoil there as Vermont had another inside 50.
And Monks came down pretty hard then, but he's up and about, so that's all right. But it's that one kick and then get it in quick. That's what they need to do, Doncaster, because they look really dangerous.
Castletine doing the rucking in the forward line. So Brash was talking about him giving a chop out to Minchin. Quick kick goes into the hot spot for Vermont. They'll have a shot from 30. Quick kick. Just goes across goal, and it's no score. Still in, close to the boundary line. Doncaster under a heap of pressure. Alessi there just spills the ball. Malloy's around the spot, and they're happy to see the boundary line take it as they're under a heap of pressure in the forward pocket. So on your team sheet, Alessi's 28. And at the ground level, Sika Vallis, he spins out of one tackle, but he under that pressure, he hands it over. flying shot around the corner. It wasn't a shot, it was a pass in the end by Howard, and McComb, standing at 15 metres out in the middle of the ground, says thank you very much as he hits him in the breadbasket.
That was just lucks of fortune there, Davo, because that was Howard was just kicking hope there, and McComb just happened to be in the right place at the right time.
But I suppose the thing is he was in front. So
Yep.
as a forward, in that area, you've always got to be in front, and that's where, you can sometimes get those lucky ones.
McComb from directly in front doesn't miss, and it's another goal to Vermont. They've got all the answers so far. 7-2-44. Scoreboard changes to Champagne. Doesn't help me reading out Doncaster's score. I think it was 4-3-27.
One of the interesting things at the moment with Nick Minchin just coming off the ground, this could be a little bit of a patch of time there for Doncaster, who are already controlling the centre clearances and the stoppages, Davo, with Mackenzie and Jarvis in the ruck. It's a clear win that they are having at the moment. Can they take advantage of it?
Well, they've got to, and they've got to use Anarchis in this situation.
Castledine got the knockdown that time, but in the favour of Doncaster here in the middle of the ground. Across there's Cooper on the right boot, switches it across towards the half-forward line. Out in front there was Cooper, couldn't quite trap the football in there. Getting a hand on it was Howard, and you'll see it over the boundary line and out of bounds.
Yeah, we'll need to find out who number 55 is. That number.
That's Cooper.
That's Cooper.
Sammy.
Just as I called it, Brush. You got to listen, mate.
Sorry.
Oh, slap.
As it comes in, I've missed him a few times, so I'll give myself a slap at the same time there, Brush, but I've just found out. So.
That's okay.
A couple of late changes to our sheets, so Doncaster rang the changes early this morning.
Gav got them, but didn't share him. He had one job, hashtag just saying, up towards the half-forward line, and now it'll be Doncaster.
Shared it, top
to get the clearing kick, but nobody is home. Taking it there is Howard. He might have a chance to go up towards the half-forward line, and the mark has been taken by Perry, it looks like.
It is.
50 metres out from goal, so drifting up from the half-back line and taking a mark, and he looks like he's going to go back and have a ping at this one. He'll enjoy this, Brash, if he can put this through.
Oh, yeah, especially when you find 36 players all over in the Vermont forward line at the moment.
I was just going to say they've pushed that 18-man press.
So Perry comes in now, he kicks it long. Has it got the carry? I think it does. The goalifier is going to give the two-finger salute. No, there's a free kick on the goal line to Schimmelbusch. So I tell you what, for a push at the last line of defence, Doncaster get a reprieve, Gav.
And see, Cavallis gets a short pass, so he's deep in his defence. He goes across ground. Is it dangerous? No, plenty of time for the mark to be taken by Jarvis, who shares it on. And now the short pass doesn't go the journey, and Thiel just spills it at his feet and takes it over and out of bounds on the wing, just as Doncaster are hoping to set up another forward foray.
This is a ground where if you don't hit your target, it is a turnover and you get scored against. So really got to be crucial with these kicks.
Jarvis with the second punch, tries to open it up through the corridor, but it might be a costly turnover. The hand pass under pressure of the Eagles allows Doncaster to come in. Sweeping hand pass to Anarchis, who's got a little chiselling ball, and it comes off the foot, does it, of the spilling mark by Monks. He took it on the chest, it ran down his leg, and it went out of bounds on the full. How unlucky. So the hand pass by Schneider, he shares it backwards to Carey. Carey kicks back into his defensive 50 to Davidson. And Davidson goes across ground and he finds Lehman, who's a great stopper, is Lehman, and he shares it back to Carey. So they're happy to do this, Vermont. They know they're a great running side once they get the open passage, but they like to see if they can set it up first. And they've gone cross ground. They've conceded about 80 since getting the ball. So it's now deep. It's really as deep as you can get in the back pocket on the outer side.
And it's good work from Doncaster here. They've really
Here's a
blocked it
dangerous
up.
kick. It's been chopped off, but it was really a late spoil that Mark's paid. Mark's paid. Vermont hold it.
Brush nearly fell off his chair.
Coleman, if he was nearly going to take the mark, he had to go the spoil. It was all too late. And Vermont with Carey, sigh of relief. His kick is a dumping ball into the back flank, and they'll concede a boundary throw in.
That was really good play from Doncaster.
Yeah.
Then, you know, Brash nearly took a mark at centre half forward and he got spoilt. But no, it was it was
He winced.
It was fantastic play with the way they blocked the space and it didn't allow Vermont to get out with space. So really impressive what they've done there.
Minchin will go up against Jarvis. Jarvis did really well. Anarchis on the right boot, just pokes it inside ball 50. Cooper out in front, takes the mark. So he will kick from the, well, probably just inside 50. So he's taking it on the 45 arc. So he'll go back and certainly back himself in from here. And
that's 3 clearances now to Anarchis since the young ruckman's gone off. So look, that's a crucial stop you've got to have.
Cooper comes in now. That's a good looking kick, but it went straight, but it went straight through the behinds from boot to goal line and through for a minor score. Bendigo Bank scoreboard, 28 plays 44. 7-2 to 4-4. Vermont have the lead here with 15 minutes into this second term. And it'll be Cam Howard to bring the ball back into play. He wants to go short. That was okay. Fisher takes the mark on the right boot, squeezes it back. Davidson takes it, gets it to Howard. Put him under a bit of pressure. They're certainly under pressure here, the Vermont side, in the good work by the Doncaster forwards for that offensive pressure, and they've got the spoil here across the. It might be a pot shot on goal here by Anarchis, but he went right across the face there, out of bounds on the ball. But I tell you what, it's they're getting a bit fumbly, Brash.
Yeah,
Vermont.
I think they're mucking around a little bit too much. BWS not being direct enough.
Cooper comes in late as a cross kick. Field kick was dangerous, but Howard's there to mop it up, and he shares it, and they clear now. Vermont in the middle of the recreation reserve, standing up tall as Schimmelbusch in the middle of the ground, hands it over to Tout. Tout looking for a teammate, the flying kick inside 50, 1v2. Donny might win out with the marker for McKenzie. He brings it to ground at least. Anarchis couldn't get the foot to the ball. Here's a chance from the pocket. It's a dribbler goal. Coleman for Doncaster, well deserved. That's pressure for 5 minutes. Just kept tackling, kept pressuring them, kept them hemmed in, and finally it comes to a shot at goal, and Tout from the pocket put a dribbler in, and it rolled through.
Was it Tout, was it?
Yeah, that was sensational play there from McKenzie. He backed back into a 3-on-1 situation, pushed the ball down the ground, then fought back for the next tackle, then pushed the ball out to Tout and created the goal. That was an outstanding play.
So it's 5-2-34. It's a 10-point game. I've got a sniff that Doncaster are up for this game, and there'll be a contest for the full 120. And they get a free kick through Anarchis.
Yeah, they're really taking their chances in the midfield here.
Short pass on the bounce is not good because Vermont have got the numbers on the turnover ball, but they're fumbling because the pressure's big, but they got the numbers at the back of the pack with Tim Johnson. Lost my place there. The pressure's immense. Tim Johnson just put a kick out that went wide and out of bounds.
But I think he's got a free kick.
So it's a free kick to Doncaster. It's all happening for them. The Sharks, they smell blood maybe as they go forward. The kick just chopped off and a nice mark.
No, there was a push out there. Umpire saw it. Looks like Dan Cooper.
Yeah, so Cooper has got the ball from 45 metres and 45-degree angle, and we know what a great kick he was. He displayed it in the first term with a similar kick. This is a wonderful opportunity. Scoreboard pressure and the physical pressure on the defenders has been enormous.
They're really issuing Vermont a serious challenge here at the moment. Vermont have to find a way to cope with this.
18 minutes gone. Cooper to close it to within 4 points from the flank. It's straight over the head of the goal umpire, and they're up and about are the Sharks. Doncaster 6-4-40. They close to within 4. Vermont 7-2-44. That is Cooper's goal number 2.
And I think the difference has been the change up in the structure. And I think Wale Buxton, we're not having a go at the young ruckman Minchin. The fact is they've now got McKenzie forward. He puts a bit of advantage there. Jarvis in the middle. You've got Anarchis now starting to come into play in that middle section. Things have just worked their way a bit for Doncaster.
So ball back in the middle now. I think it might be a free kick to Vermont here, McComb. Takes it, short passes on and quickly chopped off there by Turner though. Spins on a through up towards the half-forward line. That's a strong mark there taken. The umpire didn't pay there to Cooper. Stacks on the mill going after it in there was Towd. He was on the bottom of the pack. I tell you what, that was pretty stiff.
I reckon he'd done enough there to be awarded a mark.
It's definitely a mark.
Should have been a free kick because of the fact that bloke attacked in front on. Exactly.
Absolutely no doubt about that one. Clearing kick from a stoppage goes in towards the middle. Big fist over the top there by McGarnis. In and underneath it, trying to get a clearing kick either side. It bounces effectively up towards the Doncaster half-forward line, but Vermont do have the numbers. Clearing kick up towards the wing position. Bouncing football. Crocker had the front spot right on his tail. Kavanagh, umpire said. It went over the line, guys, just. Let's have a boundary throw-in right in front of the faithful, right in front of the bar.
I reckon one of the things that Vermont have done is they've dropped mentally in this last 10 minutes. I think they sort of thought that they were just going to coast along here. Now they're being challenged. They better start winding it up.
Okay, the umpire brought it back in. Fife, he had the spoils nicely done there by Johns, who had a ping at the goals, and it's as close as you can get when you hit the post. And I tell you what, that would have been a timely one, Vermont, just to stem the flow, because Doncaster have been owning this last 10 minutes of play. We're 20 minutes into the second quarter here, and it's 45 playing 40 as the Sharks to bring it out to the half-back line. The kick goes up towards the Cooper direction, right in front of him there. Couldn't quite take the mark there was Monks over the boundary line. It goes in front of Andrew Tranquilli and the Doncaster interchange. It's crossed down boundary side to Alana Coleman.
Yeah, Andrew Tranquilli will be absolutely super pleased with the way these guys are playing. They have done everything that he has asked for in this quarter and some.
You're right with that, Alana. So the ball now going forward for Doncaster. The hand pass just didn't hit the target with Monks. So Vermont, Mitchell gives it back. So here they go for Jarvis. Long kick. Underneath it is Coleman.
Well
He just gets spoiled and brilliantly played for the wrap-up tackle. Holding the ball, Doncaster free kick 40 metres out. Just as they look like the spoil was perfection. Roved by Perry. Perry gets taken down. And now at 25, certain goal, Doncaster will lead. It's Towd who took the tackle on
what
Perry.
A tackle that was, Brash. Even you were applauding that one. That was fantastic.
That was a great tackle. That really could be a game changer here, because all of a sudden, look, as I said a minute ago, Vermont have dropped mentally, and Doncaster have really issued the challenge, and Vermont are not coping with it at the moment.
So Perry, disillusioned, stands the mark at 10 metres, and Towd puts it over his head, and the goal umpire signals goal number 7 for Doncaster. No champagne on the board now. 7-4-46. It's a 1-point lead to Doncaster, and that's 2 to Towd.
And the difference has been that this is the Doncaster that we saw a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
They're tough at the contest. Their one-on-one pressure's been great. And they've pressured Vermont into turning the football over, which Vermont weren't doing earlier on. So they're really capitalising on Vermont's mistakes. And Vermont, all right, you've got to start controlling the football a bit better.
One turn to south, leading Doncaster East midway through the second term by 5 points. Around the ground scores coming through. Minchin gives a handball away. He's Parker. Usually got clean skills up towards the half-forward line. Nicely done by McGarnis. Got it knocked down, but straight into the arms there of the Vermont side, who kicked forward and towards the forward pocket, but nobody was home. It trickles over and for a boundary throw-in.
And that again has shown what Vermont are doing. The number of times they've kicked to a 50-50 contest instead of spotting someone up, which they did in the first quarter, is a change in the game at the moment.
Cross down boundary side to Max.
Yeah, Vermont's forward line is very, very short as well. I was over there at the huddle, and I would have been the tallest in that bunch, and I'm not a tall guy. So, yeah, they really should be trying to hit up targets, and they're just sort of blazing in, which isn't working for them, as we've seen this quarter.
Might have been the tallest. You're probably the hairiest too. It's a decent-looking man beard you got going on there, Max, as the umpire balls it up now. It's about 50 metres out from the Vermont goal line. 2 kicks from home, you would think, in towards the forward pocket, and you've got to play in front. And just what the doctor ordered was Darcy Crocker in that front position, takes it, a floating kick forward on the chest, and
He's got it
not the toughest of angles.
And that's been 2 average kicks, but they've been marked because they've been in front. So, you take your luck when you get that opportunity. But Doncaster will be really disappointed if they get 2 goals from these sorts of kicks when they've worked so hard to get the ball forward.
Kicked one in the first. He's the leader for the goal of the day from Vibromania. Can he make amends? Well, not a make amends, but can he just put some damage on the scoreboard? He can't, and he pushed it to the right-hand side. That really should have been a golden opportunity. Scores are level out here on EFL Game Day. We have a cracker. We're excited about that. 2 weeks in a row, potentially. Division 1 football at its best. 46 apiece, Gav Casey.
Kavanagh gets it passed to him, now gets it back, and Doncaster trying to run it out, but they run themselves into trouble. Now the dumping kick to Coburn, big fly! Doesn't get to the ball as the defenders punch it out. Lehman was underneath, but he didn't.
No highlight for almost footy legends for you, Gav, but good try.
Tried. He actually just got in the postcode as we were speaking, and he come in late, and Lehman just punched it out and said, "What are you doing?" Anyway, the ball is at boundary side. Parker couldn't get the hand pass and run off with it, so it's again same boundary throw in. And the scoreboard in the background, 7-4 apiece. 25 minutes it approaches in quarter 2 of this Division 1 contest. Vermont have not lost a game this year. They've had a couple of close calls, but they have 8 wins. Am I right with that? 8?
Yeah.
yeah, 8. And Doncaster had a surprise loss last week. So we're sniffing this is going to be a contest that will go the journey, just how Doncaster are playing. The ball's a contest on the outer wing. Mahon pushes off and tries to run into the open. Now they've got some runners. And now the outer side, Tika Vallis, who's getting a lot of ball off half back, can't find a target. And the narrowness of this ground sees a lot of boundary throw-ins.
And that's where he needed to go long to that really deep and dangerous position at the moment that they've got a couple of goals from. That short pass was not on.
25 and a half minutes gone. Frankie McKenzie got the knockdown. Parker was there for Vermont, got the handball away. They go inside forward 50. Kick goes up there now over the top there of Best, or underneath his legs, I should have said there. He was heavily met by Malloy, who's still over the football. Diving on top of him is Alice for Vermont, and the umpire will come in and bounce it just inside the forward arc for Vermont. Let's cross down boundary side to Max.
James Crikis has just come off spewing his guts up, so he's probably got a knock, and looks like he'll be right, but yeah, he's off for a bit.
He's probably not used to the tempo in Division 1 yet. Sometimes when you're lacking breath is mainly because you're just not up to this level fitness-wise yet.
Nicely done there by Fogarty. Got it from the stoppage. It comes out now. Fisher for Vermont just rode the tackle magnificently. Had really good poise there. They'll go backwards to go forwards here. You would expect here the Eagles, and Perry takes the mark in the defensive arc. Short passes on. That's okay. McCafferty. He's been relatively quiet so far. McCafferty got the kick on. They'll use the middle corridor here. McComb got it away. Back to McCafferty. Short passes on. Middle of Tarara Road. Tommy Schneider just holding on to it a lot longer than what he normally would there. So a little bit indecisive here, Vermont. Doncaster have caught them off measure here, Brash. Andrew Ellis takes the mark, and once again they'll look to go backwards. So gaining no ground here. Lachlan Carey on the right boot up towards the half-forward line. That's better. Here's Crocker. There's still 2 kicks from home.
But at least they're controlling the football, which is what they've wanted to do. That's probably not the option.
Yeah, he's spot on there, Davo, but then once again they go backwards. So inside forward 50, but they'll get the handball away. Kick goes goalward now to the top of the goal square. Oh, that's fantastically taken there in the goal square.
Yeah, looks like Tahana, or is it Bestie?
That's Best.
Jake Best.
Well, that was 14 possessions they had there in a row where they didn't turn the football over, which is what they have done previously. So, you know, it might be frustrating, but I think they actually had a little bit of method in that madness.
How was the kick-off half-back? Low skimmer, about a metre off the ground. Chest mark taken 50, hand pass to McComb, and he just drove it in, and luckily enough, Best bodies out perfectly.
Best kicks his 4th goal on the board, and Vermont once again gain the lead.
And that's what they like to do, and that's what they did early on in the game. Their control of the football was really good, but just then, and you know, Doncaster just couldn't put enough pressure on the carrier to turn the football over.
So best fourth gets the lead back for Vermont. They lead by that goal. 52 plays 46. On the wing, it's Saville who gets the long driving board inside 50 for Doncaster. Only one man was underneath it, and Carey takes the mark in defence. He goes through centre half back, finds Ellis, best on ground last week, handing it off to his teammate in Davidson. Davidson goes out wide, and again they'll try to set up with short passes. They might even go backwards. It's in the hands of Greenwood. Goes into the corridor with Carey marking. Carey looks for the switch, goes to half back, finds Wadley who's a runner. He takes the 10-metre gallop before kicking. His spearing ball is going towards the boundary line, and his teammate who gets there eventually will see it over.
Well, it was spearing towards the boundary line, not to a player.
Yep.
Speaking of such, Alana Coleman.
Yeah, Andrew Tranquilly won't be too impressed with that last bit of play. He did say to head towards the boundary line rather than through the centre to open up that switch play for Vermont, which is what we just saw there. Luckily, that possession was off to the boundary. Otherwise, it could have been a goal for Vermont there.
Mackenzie and Minchin went at it, and Doncaster win out of the clearance. They go long to half forward, 1v2. The one of Doncaster's in behind position. Carey's there to rove it. He hands it back to his teammate in Johns. Johns gets it out and out wide to Hana. He just puts a dinky pass in. It wasn't even his teammate at the end. It was Schimmelbusch. So Schimmelbusch goes out wide, and they'll slow it down Doncaster as half-time approaches.
Well, they'll be wanting this. I was going to say, they'll be wanting the siren, won't they? And as if on cue, you heard it in the background. What a first half of football that was! Sensational stuff here on 98.1 Radio Eastern, streaming live around the globe, efl.org.au. It's the Vermont Football Club leading by one straight kick at half-time here in Division 1 Premier Division 1 football on EFL Game Day. 52 plays 46. The major goal kickers on the ground. Jakey Best kicked 3 in the first. He kicked 1 in the second. His total is 4. He's the major goal kicker for Vermont. When we look at the Doncaster side, it is Chris Tout and Daniel Cooper who has 2 big ones for them. What a fantastic game we're seeing. Plenty of great games as you go local for your football around the grounds today in the outer eastern suburbs. The EFL, the best competition in the land. We'll come back after these messages with Barry Cotts with the Score Centre, bringing you all those important around the ground scores and a very interesting around the grounds update as well. Stay tuned on 98.1 Radio Eastern.
Never miss out on the latest information on the Eastern Football League through the league's social media channels. Live updates, information and scores through the league's Twitter account. The latest news and views on Facebook. Don't miss EFL